No, it's not what you think. This is my handmade, homemade router plane that I made from Paul Sellers' website, and I'll leave a link to this in the description below. But it's a very simple build in making this. He has instructions. You can even buy the kit, which I did, and the link to his where you buy the kit's also on his website. But it's really simple. It's a good build, and let me show you how this thing works. It's really a handy tool. Let me show you how it works. Well, let's say I have a joint and I want to, I don't know, let's just make it, let's just do this right here, okay? I'll use my, all right, let's say I go down here and I get through here like this. Now I'm gonna come in here and I'll cut the rest of this off right here. It's just a rough show to what I'm gonna show you how it works. Let's clean this up a little bit. Saw away there. So let's say I want to come in here and I want to clean this joint up like it's right here. You see, so what you would do is you can see the adjustment on this thing is back here. I'll loosen these up. I always keep the blade up inside. This is not to damage the blade or cut your finger. And then I'll just run the blade up or down, however I want it. In this case, I'm gonna run it down just till it touches. And I might have to adjust it. Yeah, I'll make it a little more back. Let's try this right here, see where we're at. I'll tell you what, here, the vise will be a lot better. I want to ride this piece right here. Okay, so that's got to be done a little more. We'll go down a little bit deeper. Not much. This is hackberry. Nah, that's a little too much. You see how I'm taking off some of the... You want to reference this on this face here, and I like to work it around like this, so I know I'm staying true to my mark. I can pair this out with my chisel. So that gets that down like that. You can do this with a table saw or a router. Look at this thing, how it works. Isn't that beautiful? Now that I'm clear, I tighten these down. I move it back. I made this out of, like I said, I made this out of a maple base, 1 inch thick, and a laminated piece of walnut on top here for character. I really like it because it's a good hard base on the maple there. And then my son actually made me some maple handles. You can buy some handles, some knobs, and drill a hole with them. This hardware also comes with the kit. It'll come with the hardware to put in. It'll come with the blade, the iron. It will come with the piece of metal across here that dogs itself on here, and it'll come with these knobs. It'll come with this knob and the pieces that the inserts that go into the knobs, and the studs and screw. Everything you need to make this thing is in that kit. It's awesome. I encourage you to do it. I hope you enjoy the video. So I'm making this a router plane, and I need to measure over. It's 9.5 inches, and I need half that, so it's 4 3/4. Put a line there. I'm gonna come then over 2 inches from that. You can see this side here, and I'm gonna put a mark right there. And those crosshairs are at, and that's where I'm gonna drill a 1 1/4 inch hole there. Use sacrificial board so you have no tear out. So a router bit's going to go through here, and I'll show you this in just a minute to make more sense. This piece will be the riser. Go ahead and make a quick work of this. So I gotta have a piece that's 3/4 inches thick, 5.5 inches long, I believe. And this is gonna fit. I got maple for the base. It's gonna fit here. I decided if I want to do it like this, probably like this, because the knife of the router plane is gonna sit in here. So I want this to be real hard. We're fixing to glue this on here and see how this goes. So now what I have to do, let me find this is the iron that I'm going to be, and I purchased this iron kit and everything, the bolts and the nuts and everything that you need from Paul Sellers' plans that you can find on YouTube as well. But anyway, this is a 10 millimeter thick stock, and I measured, let me get over here. I measured over it. So the whole piece here is going to be 5.5. So let's go. So I marked my piece 2 3/4 to make it the center. This will be the center right here, that mark right there. So I make that spot my center of the line right there. And so, all right, so this is our center point, and I'm gonna take my millimeters. It's 10 millimeters wide. I'm gonna cut 1 inch. I'm gonna go over 5 millimeters to get in between the middle here. And it's small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll make it just a mark right there. And I'll check myself and make sure I get another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, let's see if you can see this better. That line, that mark, between these two lines will come out. So, make sure you can see this. I need to transfer these marks. I'll press my face up against the square, slide it over to right here. Go real light. And find your mark by putting your knife in here and sliding the square up to it. That way you know you've got your mark. So we're looking at these two right here. And this blade, this is the flat part. This blade's gonna be sitting in through here. It'll make sense here in just a minute. All right, so we get the marks transferred. So I work up to the line, it's a little toenail to the side, and I'll come in same way, real easy. Because for this to work, whoops, I'm sorry. We'll keep chiseling right here out. Just gonna keep working this down toward the inside corner. Shoot upward, not downward. Right here, and it's a little, it's not quite there. It's close, as you can see. I want an exact fit. I stop right here, so I chiseled it out so my knife fits in there good and snug, but I'm about 1 millimeter, maybe a 3/4 of a millimeter. I'm the same all across. 3/4 of a millimeter, still to go. Good at the front, I'm still high. Back here at the back. So now we've got to cut, mark from this 50-degree angle here. We've got to mark. I'll show you. I'm gonna come to the edge of this mark right here. I don't think you can see that too well, but I'm gonna mark like that, and that's 90 degrees to that. So now it meets right here and right there. So we're going to cut this angle right here off, and we'll just see if we can get that down to the right shape. So now I'm going to make this cut, and I'm going to come in right here. I'm going to stay on the line. gotta love it, saw. So I gotta work this down. My hand plane fell off and broke my knob. Not cool. Now it's supposed to be 90 degrees, this right here. Let's see where we're at. Okay, that's what I thought. I had to take it down some, so. A little high. About half a millimeter off. Nonetheless, it's off. Oh, it's pretty right there. What I want to do is I want to cut this nail off here, cut that nail off there, and just tap it a little bit. And before I do the gluing, I'll put it back in the vise and take a rasp file. Just knock off the corners. I'll just keep working this around and get them smooth. Now, we'll take our, ready to glue this piece on, so let's take some glue. I'm gonna use Type Bond 3. Type Bond 2 would work fine because it's not going outdoors. So you can see it. It'll help you see stuff in it. We can take our piece. We know how to put it in here because we know what the registration marks are on our piece we had earlier, if you remember. That's it right there. So what I've done, I've had to make room for the plane iron that's going to go through the piece like this, okay? So this is going to go like that. And I've marked out the holes there that you see right here. And over here, they're 80 millimeters apart from here to the other side. And that's going to have a plate that goes across and puts pressure right here to keep this blade from going up and down. But I'll get that started here in just a minute and show you how I put those studs in for those adjustments. So now we've got to drill these studs. These studs will go into the piece. Be one to go here, one to go over here, and then one will go hit the back for the adjustment screw. So I'm gonna drill a pilot hole first, and I took this block, get things started, and you put it in the hole, and you keep that hole flat against the face of this 50-degree angle piece, and you do the same on the other side here, and then go to the back and you drill that hole. Now I need to swap over to the bigger bit. Okay, I want to measure over about how far. We don't want to go too deep. So I'm going to get the bulk of this right here. Let's say right there on my drill bit. And I'll drill those holes that depth right there. And then it should carry me. Should carry me to it because the pilot hose should do what a pilot hose does, is pilot the hole. I'm gonna come over here and do the same thing. So now, we're ready to drive our screws in. So now we have to put our studs in here, and I've done one. And what I'm going to do is, and it's real simple, you take the bolt here, we'll cinch it up, be very careful not to mess up any threads, and tighten it up by hand like that. I'm going to take some candle wax to make it go in a lot easier. And this should follow the hoe itself, like this right here. We don't want it to slip. Now I'm going to hold it with my hand and release it like that. Oh, gorgeous. Look at that. And that plate will sit over like that right there. Make sure you can come around and see this. So that plate will sit over it, whoops, like this right here. Of course, the knife is going to go through like that. And this will go over it and will dog itself off and tighten up on it right there and not letting the blade slip or anything. So we've got to get our third piece in the back, and then we're ready to go. Well, we've got to put some handles on it. So I'm going to measure. I measured in 2 inches from the back of the plate like this on each side. Another 2 inches over here. I put a mark. I come around, measure 7/8 of an inch. 7/8 would be about right there. I put another mark. And right there where the crosshairs meet is where I want to drill my holes like we did for these pieces like that, because they'll have the same type of studs that go in there. So I got my drill bit and my trusty. I can eyeball this thing pretty good myself, but let's take our clean that baby up right there. Let's see how far we can go. Definitely don't want to go through the sole. So we can go about right there. I'm gonna probably cut this off a little bit. The studs. Yeah, I can make that work. Okay. All right, so let me show you what we got here. Here's our plane. There's some nuts and washers. Now, we'll take to plug the iron. I've sharpened this iron, by the way, a good bit. I mean, I got this thing where it'll shave the hair on your face. All right, so I lay that in there like that. Well, before I do that, let me go ahead and put this knob here on. This is the fine adjustment. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. That is so awesome. I'll lay it in here like this. And then I can, we'll adjust it like that. Of course, this plate is what holds the blade in place. Got some candle wax. Woo! Happy days. I might go ahead and put that washer on these right here. Just because I can. Well, come on now. Your hands get glue and get dry. That will lock us in place like that. So you can't do any adjustment there. Now this, well, here's a washer here. I'm just gonna leave this on here now because I don't wanna lose my washers. There's two more. But when I make my knob, I'm gonna make some knobs for these places right here. When I do, the knob will have this piece go on the top, and the knob will screw on these studs right here. You can make your own knobs. You can buy these knobs as well and just drill them out. You will drill the big hole first, then drill this down here. I believe it's this diameter of this head right here is 600, and the diameter of this part right here is going to be about 0.35 at 35 thousandths, and the whole thing is like 0.78, I believe, right at 0.8 in the length. So you can just have that if you want to. I've measured those with my calipers, so that's what the numbers are. Now, come on now, get on there. Okay, I guess we're done. Oops, leave my washer off. Come on. Come on. There you go. Of course, your knife, as you see, will come through the bottom right here. And of course, if I want to raise the blade up, because it's just below it. Oh, look at that baby right there. Look at that. Keep the thing true and flat here, and look at my handle. I can have me, that's my rider plane. You can buy a rider plane for about $253 and up. They go from $250 to some of them must be $1,000, but this one will serve exactly what I need. I can guarantee you, for way less money. Well, here it is, the final product. Man, it turns out awesome. Love this thing. You know, get the blade up in there. And yeah, this thing's gonna come in handy. So the way you'd use it is you adjust your blade tension right here, up or down, and you lock it down these two nuts right here. And then you just grab either knob here, and then you just work the plane, so forth like that right there, and that's all there is to it. These handles, I had my son make these. He did an awesome job. They are made out of maple, because I figured that would complement the maple bottom with about a slightly under 3/4, maybe 3/8 inch thick piece of walnut veneer I put on top. And then of course we have walnut and maple veneer for the upstand right here, which is cut at 50 degrees here, and this here is just squared off to a 90 degrees to the 50. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to build one, need a rider plane, this would be the thing to do it. Shoot me an email, let me know, or make a comment, and we'll let it roll.